Hi, thanks for joining me. So, someone brought up a good question the other day about predictions and why we even get predictions. And I really would like to talk about this because, I asked this question years and years ago. I would get a vision of something. I would come out, to tell a family member. It was kind of like I needed some kind of clarity for my own ego that I had seen something I needed to tell somebody, and then when it unfolded, it was it was like it was clarification for me. But I used to also question, why would I see something like that? I can't stop it. I can't do anything about it. I remember this one night. I was not asleep. I was laying there. That's quite often that's when I get a lot of visions, when I'm not asleep. I'm in that between zone, and I saw a man running away with he had shot people, and he was running, and he ran down a driveway, and he went under somebody's roller door garage, and then the garage was about that high off the ground. He'd sort of pulled it down and he was inside, and then I saw two police officers running, and I saw them laying on the concrete with their own guns aiming under the door. So I got up in the morning. This was, I don't know, 25 years ago, I think it was. I got up in the morning and I said this whole story to my husband at the time. And I said, it wasn't a dream. I know that it's like I was there watching the whole thing unfold. So I reckon it was about 2 days later, he yells out, "Quick, come here." And on the news, that whole scenario was unfolding, and it was happening in America. We lived in Australia, and that whole thing was unfolding exactly. I'd even explained what the house looked like, and it was what the roller door looked like. And it was exactly like I had stood there and watched the whole thing unfold. And my husband at the time was saying, "That's incredible. You've just detailed that whole story 2 days before it happened." But in my mind, it was like, why? What's the point in seeing that? I couldn't ring somebody up and tell them that's going to happen. And so for years, I would just get visions all the time and just kept them to myself. And then right up until probably 3 years ago, I was still getting lots and lots of visions, and I would have them privately, private conversations with my family, private conversations with friends. I remember saying in 2015, I was having a private conversation, and I was saying between 2020 and 2025, everything's going to collapse. All the systems are going to collapse. But I didn't feel the need to tell the general public, because there's reasons for me not. I didn't feel like nothing could be done about it, nothing could change, and I certainly don't want to put fear into people. I've always spoken about that before. I don't want to be somebody that, if you walk away from talking to me, that you walk away with fear. I've always wanted to give hope to people. So if I'm going to have a vision and it's not going to give somebody hope, I didn't want to share it. I just wanted to keep it to myself because I couldn't see the point. And I know that's why a lot of people choose not to watch predictions, especially when somebody predicts a specific date, and when that date comes and goes, it really makes people lose hope. And the people that have known me for the last 20 years that I've been doing this, I don't do dates. I can do a general time frame, but I don't give actually specific dates, because I'm wrong with dates. God doesn't give dates. And for the very reason, if that date comes and goes, it can still be unfolding, but you lose hope. So I don't know, it was about 3 years ago, a lot of people on my page were asking me to publish the predictions I was seeing. And I sat long and hard and thought about, I don't want to do my predictions to come across as an egotistical person who is trying to prove they are right. So I sat with that. If I share predictions, how is it going to help people? And I think and then it sort of started unfolding for me the reasoning why I believe we do get predictions, because even though we can't stop things from happening, it's a way of helping us prepare mentally. So there's a lot of people out there that really can't handle having shocks. Like they don't want to live their life just cruising through life and, hey, if something happens, it happens. There's those people that live like that. They just, hey, if something happens, it happens. I'll deal with it when it happens. And then there's a lot of other people that have so much anxiety and stress inside them. They don't want to just wait for something to happen. They want to know. And even though they can't stop something from happening, mentally they are preparing themselves. They're getting themselves ready so they don't have to feel overwhelmed. So I totally understand why people want to know what's going to happen, and I also understand why people don't care if it happens or if it doesn't happen. They don't want to know. You know, you can switch off. You don't have to watch people's prediction things. You can switch off if it doesn't bring you joy. Don't watch it. Don't watch something and then feel triggered by it and then comment. Just switch off. You have that choice. So I think the reasoning why I feel like I do predictions, and this is just for me personally, is for those people that follow my predictions, and then when they see what I was being shown and then how it unfolds, it's in one way it's helping them also to trust their own intuition. So you don't always get shown how something is going to unfold. You get shown the outcome and then you trust how it's going to get there. So by watching predictions on a grand scale, then when someone comes to me for a private reading, it's a lot more personal. When you contact me and I do an email reading for you, I'm just in your energy, my energy and your energy. So it's going to be a lot more accurate than when I'm trying to predict on a worldwide scale, because there is so much energy involved in that. So it's sort of like if you watch my predictions and you see that they do come true, then you may trust me more to do your private reading for you. So that's, for me, a way of clarifying what I do, because, you know, you can't trust every psychic. There's people out there that just make stuff up, and how do you know who's genuine and who's not genuine? And the only way, I mean, we've got a bad rap with our name with when people don't do it from their hearts and they do it from their egos and they just want to rip people off. It makes it really, really hard for us that are genuine in what we do. So how do we prove to people that we are genuine? We have to do predictions on a mass worldwide stage so that you can see, oh yes, this person actually is connecting her energy. She's not making it up. So then you can be trusted to contact me on a private level. And also, it gives people hope. Don't people really need hope? If you haven't got hope to hang on to, what have you got? I've just, you know, I scroll through TikTok and scroll through Instagram, and I just felt so sad last week I was watching so many people at the end of their rope. They're on social media crying for somebody to help them, because they can't live like this anymore. They can't live with the lies. They can't live with what the governments are doing to them. They can't live with the fear. And it was just horrible. I saw so many of them, and all I could do was just put a little comment in there to give them some sort of hope. Because I'd much rather give somebody hope than make somebody live in fear even longer. That's not what I want to do. I don't know what you want to do with your life, but I choose to give hope and love and kindness to people. And if in some small way by giving you, sharing my predictions, I am helping you see that we're going to get through this, I just hope that that helps people and doesn't give them fear. So, you know, I question things like you do. I do question and say, well, why bother getting predictions that we can't stop? But I also know that a lot of what I get shown is on a very, very spiritual level. And in our human body, our ego wants to know facts. You know, our ego wants to know all the little details, whereas our spiritual side is there, you know, as the bigger picture. Can we, as a whole human collective, go through the years 2020 to 2025, where all the systems are dismantled? Can we do that for 5 years, knowing that it's going to get better for all the generations to come? Because, you know, even if someone says to you something is going to happen in a year's time, you can see that as, oh, a year seems like eons away. It's like, I can't do this for another year. But when you look at the big picture, you can do things, because it's for the bigger picture in the long run. It's just while you're living it, it's the most difficult. You think back to a time in your life when you just thought something was not going to end. You know, you were going around and around in a circle, and you thought, at that time, you thought this is never going to end. Did you get through it? Did it end? Of course it does. It always does. It's just while you're going through it, it's so difficult. And I feel like that's why we get predictions. And I also believe it's, if you yourself have a really strong gut instinct that something's not right, you know, someone's lying to you, something is going to happen, then that's you. That is also you trusting in your own instinct. So you're getting visions yourself, and you're getting predictions and instinct, because you have to trust in yourself as well. So at the moment, there is an incredible energy that's it's kind of like, it feels to me like it's you know, in a volcano, where it's just building and building and building and building, and it's about to erupt. And you hear people say something big is coming, because they don't know what it is. We don't always get shown what actually is the big thing that's coming, but you can feel it in the energy. And so many people will say they can feel the energy, or they feel like there's a shift in the energy. Or last week, around the time of the solar eclipse on the 4th of December, there was so much sadness. People were saying they just feel sad without knowing why. They just wanted to cry without knowing why. It's kind of like, to me, it's like this purging of energy that we've been holding on to for so long, and and releasing it is sad. And I know a lot of religious people that like to follow the Bible studies, or they get the information that they read. They've also been feeling like around this time is, well, I think they call it the rapture. So there's that sort of people, and also people have been hearing like a sound, like a horn, like when an angel blows a horn. It's not a sound in the physical world. It's a sound that you hear spiritually. And it's really weird because I hadn't heard that sound at all. But the other night, every night when I go to sleep, I have my iPad next to the bed and I play just relaxation music, any kind of relaxation music. And the other night, I grabbed my iPad and I thought, I need to listen to 7 Angels. I just thought 7 Angels. I don't know what that was about, so I just typed in the search thing 7 Angels relaxation music, and up came on YouTube. It was, and up came the archangels all lined up in a row, all blowing a trumpet, and there was beautiful music with that, and that's the frequency that I wanted. I was just looking for the frequency, so I put that on, and I've got it floating here. I put the music on and drifted off to sleep, and I know I got a lot of downloads that night, which I've now forgotten. But then I started reading 2 days later. I was reading all these people have been hearing some sort of angelic horn sound. And I thought, that's fascinating, because I didn't hear the sound, but I was drawn to connect with angels at that particular time. I felt like I needed to have them around me. So a lot of people at the moment are also feeling like they need to forgive themselves of things they have done wrong in the past, forgive situations, try and forgive other people. It seems quite important at the moment to clear energy that we've held on to for too long, and ask for forgiveness. And yeah, I just feel the energy at the moment. I don't actually know what is going to happen. I just wait to see if they will give me something. I'm not asking, but I did actually yesterday finish my predictions for, well, I do them for 2022, but they could happen next year or the one after. But I finished writing them out yesterday, so I will put them into a presentation. And I think some people can just get a prediction and look at it and go, oh yeah, that's interesting, and then they can carry on with their lives. Other people really like to use the predictions to control something in their own lives. They like to prepare their own mind so they don't have to feel anxious. And other people could care less about them and totally ignore them, and everyone has that choice. So I just thought I needed to talk about this subject, because it's not always easy. It's not always easy seeing things that you can't control. And I'll tell you one thing these predictions have taught me is to know that we have to let things unfold without trying to. We can't control everything. And we have to just quite often just stand back and watch things unfold in the way that they do, for all the lessons, even if they are the harshest lessons, and we don't want those harsh lessons, we're still going to get them. It's like when I say to people, we get tower moments in our life where it feels like everything around us has crumbled and we don't like that feeling. But we have to have it as part of our journey, even though we don't want it. So, yeah, if it teaches you anything, to know a prediction, to know something's coming, if it teaches you anything, it's that you can't always control everything. And it's about letting go and being, but you can control your reactions. You can control if you want to live in fear or if you want to live from a space of love. And just know that if life on earth ends, we don't die. We just move to another dimension. So thank you again for listening to me, and I hope you all have a lovely day.